Hey everyone, it's Trace here, letting you know that on April 18th, the movie event of the year arrives. Sinners, from Ryan Coogler, director of Black Panther and Creed, is a new genre-bending thrill ride unlike anything you've ever experienced on the big screen. Starring Michael B. Jordan, Haley Steinfeld, Wunmi Mosaku, Jack O'Connell, and Delroy Lindo. Identical twin brothers Smoke and Stack, both played by Michael B. Jordan, return to their hometown for a fresh start, only to discover that an unspeakable evil is waiting to welcome them back. They'll soon learn that when you dance with the devil, sometimes hell follows you home. Don't miss this epic event that delivers on multiple levels: mystery, action, horror, suspense, and so much more. Shot with IMAX film cameras, Sinners promises to keep you on the edge of your seat. Get ready for Sinners, only in theaters and in IMAX on April 18th. That's April 18th. Rated R. Under 17, not admitted without parent. This week's episode is sponsored by Neon's The Monkey, now available on digital. Masters of Horror Stephen King, Osgood Perkins, and James Wan bring King's short story to life in a new trip that King himself calls batshit insane. Critics have described it as the most outrageous horror movie of the year and the best Stephen King movie in decades. Take The Monkey home with you today, now available to rent or buy on digital.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Hello everyone. The clip you're about to hear is from one of our exclusive Patreon episodes, and just like all of our other episodes, it will include major spoilers. You've officially been warned. If you'd like to hear the episode in full, just head on over to patreon.com/horrorqueers and subscribe today to get hundreds of hours of exclusive Patreon content, all for just $10 or less. Without further ado, here is your Patreon clip. The consensus for this season seems to be that it's the weakest of the three, which I'm not necessarily inclined to disagree with, but
okay.
I didn't dislike. I still quite enjoyed this season. I think there were things where it felt sometimes a little bit less narratively driven than seasons past, but I also don't think this show is necessarily narratively driven all the time.
It's not really about the story. It's about the characters. And I think maybe people have either gently forgotten about that. You know, this is a bit of a television event, right? It comes around every 2 years. And it's always a lot of excitement about who he's going to cast, where it's going to be set. And of course, you know, who is the murder victim? That's always hinted at in the first episode. But yeah, it definitely feels like maybe people have just gotten a little too used to the formula, or this one felt like it was, I don't know. Like, I do think in part, some people are really feeling the absence of Jennifer Coolidge.
Yes. I mean, again, for me, Parker Posey was giving me that this season. But
sure.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I like this season. It is my least favorite of the three, but I would still recommend it.
It's still a good time, right? Like, part of me thinks if you like the show, it hasn't done anything dramatically different this season that'll make you say, oh, well, never fucking again. Yeah. But also, yeah, you know, does it feel like more of the same that we were getting in the first 2 seasons, albeit with different characters? Well, also, yes.
And that is the thing. Like, I think in the first 2 seasons, there was maybe, and I'm not even saying predictability is a bad thing here, because I do think that this season was, at least by the end of it, was kind of played more like a Greek tragedy. And so a lot of the heavy foreshadowing or obviousness of stuff, I was like, okay, well, this is clearly meant to be pretty obvious. But like when it comes to Piper, the Ratliff daughter character, it's like, oh, shocker. Like, she went back to the money, because every single season has like this young ingenue girl who wants to do the right thing and get away from money, but then they always wind up going back to the money.
Yeah, and then arguably that's kind of the whole premise of the show, right? It's mostly terrible, rich, spoiled white people doing terrible, rich, spoiled white people things.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's a question of, will anyone learn a lesson over the week-long stay at the White Lotus, insert location X? And the answer is usually no.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, you know, I feel like every season people always say that the finale is a little anticlimactic. And I actually think in this season, that's kind of the opposite, because we get a full blown, like,
you thought this person was going to die. Psych, they're actually still alive. Actually, we're going to kill this other person. But also, we hinted. I mean, I will be on record throughout probably parts of this episode as saying, I think that the murder mystery is the weakest part of the show. And I kind of wish that we would just stop doing it. I get that there's a lot of folks who like doing the week to week, ooh, who's the dead body? Like, you know, speculate ahead, blah, blah, blah. But I just also find it ends up leading to those feelings of anticlimax because it's like either the person you expected, the person that the show heavily teased, or the show teases everybody potentially dying. So when it's revealed to be anyone in the cast, you're just like, oh, well, I guess I saw that coming.
Well, but that's how it is with every single murder mystery. I mean, we hear that with Scream films all the time. Like, oh, I knew who the killer was. Yeah, of course, because you suspected everyone at one point in time.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, I see this as comparable to the Knives Out films, where the cast is deep and stacked, and these people are having a fucking ball. And also, oh, right, we're supposed to be trying to guess who's the killer and who's the victim.
Yes, absolutely. But I would actually argue, I totally understand your gripe with the murder mystery, because I don't really think, at least in the first 2 seasons, it was ever really narratively like super like relevant to any of the other plot lines. But
at least not until the finale. Like when we get to the end of it, it's always like, oh, right, we got to wrap this whole shit up. And, you know, people were very, I don't know if we were shocked, but people thought it was very exciting when it was Jennifer Coolidge on the boat with all of the gays and we got all the memes and that kind of stuff. But yeah, here it definitely feels as though it was, you know, shoot at a cast member and it's going to be one of them and it's fine.
Yeah, but I will say though, I mean, in terms of like what happened with the murder, I do think that this might be my favorite of the 3 seasons, specifically with the resolution of the murder.